It was an absolutely horrendous attack on the Jewish community. The Jewish community have put up with a lot of these types of incidents over the last few years, and whilst they're very strong and resilient, they are clearly very frightened. And we absolutely understand that, and that's why our counter-terrorism officers are now conducting that investigation. It's also important to say that we are looking very closely at how we work with the Jewish community, the protective security measures that we're putting in place across the country, but specifically in London, we've added an extra 264 officers to patrolling those Jewish communities. They will see visible firearms officers patrolling the streets, as well as using some of our specialist assets from drones and our mounted branch to keep those communities safe, and in particular working with Jewish schools, Jewish synagogues, to ensure that protective security measures we've got in place are the best they can be.
Last night, the Community Security Trust about a group that's apparently claimed responsibility. How much is known about that group?
So that is one of the lines of inquiry that we are progressing. We know that online they have laid claim to a number of incidents across Europe, and so it's obviously very important for us to understand what is behind the attack in Golders Green and what the motivation of those individuals was. But critically, we want to get them into custody as quickly as we can and bring them to justice.
One of my colleagues said
It's not uncommon. So certainly we've seen a very significant increase in our work involved with foreign state activity, particularly around that top three of Iran, Russia and China. And in the 6 months up to December last year, we had a 50% increase in National Security Act investigations. And that's on the back of a fivefold increase over the last 4 or 5 years. So it is a significant part of our caseload. It is something we are acutely aware of, the impact that has on communities across the country, and is something that we are prioritising through our casework and our investigations.
Has there been any, it might be too early to say, but have there been any particular activity by Iran with the latest military action by the US?
I think it's fair to say that events across the globe, whether it's the Middle East, the war in Ukraine, or other events, the horrendous attacks in October 2023 in Israel, they do have an impact. It's something that we monitor very closely. There's often a tail to that impact, so you might not see the immediate effects, but it's something that we are acutely aware of, and something that we make sure with our security service partners we are closely aligned with government and make sure we're monitoring it to the best of our ability.
In terms of anti-Semitism, what's the broader threat picture in terms of anti-Semitism?
We've certainly seen anti-Semitism increasing significantly. The Community Security Trust will tell you, huge rises in reports to them, and we're seeing it through our police work, from hate crime through to that being motivation for terrorist planning and terrorist attacks. It is really worrying for that community, and of course an attack on the Jewish community is an attack on the British community, and it's absolutely appalling that anybody in Britain should feel unsafe and vulnerable to this type of crime.
That's great. Are there any other key points that you want to get?
I think for me it's really important that the Jewish community in particular, but all communities, understand the importance with which we take these types of attack. Whether it's a terrorist incident or not, we absolutely understand the fear it causes and how worried communities are, which is why we put the most specialist assets that we've got to investigate this type of criminality and bring those individuals to justice. Absolutely. So we recognise the significance of religious festivals, religious dates, and the Jewish community again will be acutely aware of the attack over Yom Kippur in Manchester last year. As part of that response in London is the additional 264 officers, the firearms officers patrolling the streets, and our specialist assets, as well as our work with Jewish schools and synagogues. But across the board, my teams review protective security, work with forces across the country to ensure that the protective security measures we've got in place for everybody are the best they can be.
Yeah. Oh,